I'm Fuddled Fox FM and this is Bitesized FM, Football Manager in under 10 minutes. We start today with injury news. The least bad of them all so far is Rafael Duamena, sprained ankle. He's out for 5 to 10 days, so he misses today's game. But then we've got the winter break and he'll be back raring to go after that. The really big one is Florentin Pogba has damaged his Achilles tendon. He's out for 4 to 5 months, so his season is pretty much over. He might be back maybe for the last couple of games of the season, but he's been really good for us at left back so far this season. In Europe, he's got a 7.4 average rating from 7 games, 7.18 from 15 games in the league. It does mean Mario Hermoso can step up. Did well towards the end of last season after we brought him in on a free transfer, so he's a decent replacement. And it's also meant that I've promoted a youngster from our youth teams, and that youngster is Gaishel Banza. He's really not ready for first team football yet. He's just training with us. He's still playing for the under-21s. I think an hour a game I've given him, because he's not going to play a great deal for us. But if I can give him the odd minute here and there, that's pretty good. Looks decent mentally and physically really for a 17-year-old, and his technicals have got some improving to do, as has everything really. But his current ability is 1.5 star, potential of 3.5 or even 4.5 star. So yeah, looks a real prospect actually. So we're supposed to be back today for our final group game in the Europa League against Wolfsburg. Didn't happen. I had some major issues with the audio when I went to edit it, so unfortunately we're coming back and taking on FC Wil in the league. So the story in the Europa League is we had the return game against Saint-Etienne. We lost 3-1. Really didn't play well at all. I changed from our counter to a more attacking style and it didn't pay off at all. Nolan Roux got a hat-trick for Saint-Etienne. We got a consolation in injury time. That made things really tough in the group for us. Did get a 1-0 win over Copra Venetia at home. It set up a game against Wolfsburg where if we got a draw or a win, we would have gone through. Wolfsburg won and Saint-Etienne won against Copra Venetia, who had. So that means the group ended like this. We missed out by 1 point from Wolfsburg. 10 points, they had 11. Saint-Etienne won the group with 13 points. But pretty proud of how we've done this season. We won the 2 games we were supposed to against Copra Venetia, got a draw against Wolfsburg, and as you saw in the last episode, we smashed Saint-Etienne. In the league, it's been a lot better. We had a 1-1 draw with the champions, Young Boys. Not having quite such a good season this year, but still a good result. Then beat FC Wil 2-1 away from home, 3-1 against FC Luzerne. We had a 0-0 draw against this season's surprise package in Lugano, which was a decent enough result considering they're second. We beat Sand Sports 2-0, we beat FC Sion 3-0, and we've just won the Zurich derby against Grasshopper 2-1. That leaves us in 4th in the league, which is a big improvement over the last episode when we were 7th or 8th in that episode. We're well ahead of the relegation zone, no real fears there. We're well in with a shout of getting this top 2 place and getting into the Champions League qualifiers, which would be really awesome going into the 4th season of this save. Today we take on FC Wil in our final game of the first half of the season before the winter break. They're bottom of the league and I'm expecting a 3 points if I'm honest. We've got some pretty tired legs out there today, but the player's about to get a month off. So in goal we've got Rakowski, Sauer right back, GC Hubach and the 2 centre backs. Hermoso comes in for Pogba at left back. Ojo's a ball-winning midfielder. Mandragora and Ben Khalifa play centre midfield. Brown and Kurt are the wingers, and Hennings is up front in for the injured Duamena. Well, that was an absolutely exhilarating first half of no highlights. Managed 5 shots on goal, 2 on target, 2 off target. Don't quite know how that works. FC Wil have only had 2, but yeah, we need to do a little bit better in the second half. And finally we get a highlight. Here's Sal to Mandragora, Brown. Ben Khalifa got lots and lots of space. It's getting closed down now though. It's Hennings. Oh, wayward pass, but Khalifa can pick it up. Into Kurt. Here's Hermoso. Ojo, can we find that killer pass? Not like that, we won't. Hermoso, it's Khalifa. Good passing around to each other, but no real killer instinct at the moment. Here's Hennings. Khalifa goes for the shot, tipped over the bar. Sin and Kurt in the corner. Tucked away. Khalifa just puts that in the side netting. At least it's some highlights. Colangelo hits it long. Hodzic gathers it up. Gets past his man. He's been closed down now though. Goes for a shot. Puts it well over the bar. It's time to make some changes. So I'm going to bring Jasula off. He can go in behind Hennings, and Rodriguez is going to come on the right wing for Izzy Brown. Khalifa's coming off for Jasula. I'm going to make Hennings into an advance forward. Now he's got some support just behind him. Here's Wil on the attack. Hodzic, this would just sum it up if they could nick one. Hodzic, he's going to score. Damn it! Good finish, to be fair. Good ball in as well. Oh, I don't want to be losing to the bottom team. One final corner. Put in towards GC. Crowded out is Kurt. There's the final whistle. Well, that really wasn't the way that I planned on finishing the first half of the season. We were absolutely ranking that game. Created nothing at all. It says we had 12 shots, but 4 on target. We even had less possession than FC Wil. Really poor. That drops us down to 5th place, although we're still well in with a shout of second moving into the second half of the season. So just to look at the player stats then before we go. Top scorer is Rafael Duamena. We need to get him back in the team and firing. We really have missed him the last couple of games. He's got the highest average rating as well of 7.28. Most assists is Sinankurt and Izzy Brown with 8 each. Mandragore's got the highest pass completion of 89%. Sinankurt's got the most man of the matches with 5. And Sal and Ojo got the most yellow cards with 7. And Ojo's got the most red cards with the 1 that he's had so far this season. If you've enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more.